you have one? Okay. All right. I think I've got one. All right. and so
because
I
said that's how I found out.
That's my wife.
Makes you blind.
I like that Bella's is the same every week. That's pretty hilarious to me. Like because lead poisoning causes memory loss. She just tells the same joke about lead poisoning every week. Oh, I'm getting sweaty all of a sudden, guys. I started realizing that there's a possibility of an audience and my sweat glands activated. It's like being on a phone call when I get so sweaty every time.
I think I'm not sweaty because I am like literally no one's listening because nobody is listening right now.
Nobody is listening. That's true.
I'm like, no one's listening. When I'm recording this, nobody can hear me live.
Oh, this is Blind Slides. Hi.
Hi.
I didn't see you there.
Oh, hi.
This is... I like that it's the same every week, but we don't acknowledge this is the same every week. Oh, hi. We didn't see you there. Come on in. This is Blind Slides.
This is the first actual episode of proper Blind Sides.
True.
That's true. Hey, welcome, audience. This is actually Blind Slides.
Hey there.
We took a week off, so it's been a month.
Wow.
Luckily, no one listens, but it's been a whole month because we could not do the premise of our podcast because
we couldn't
doing
think of
any amount of work is hard.
It's hard.
We're not creative enough.
You might ask yourself, then why are you doing a podcast? Let's not ask those questions.
Because we're fools.
That's a dangerous question. You could be sleeping with the fishes. Those are dangerous questions to ask. But this is actually Blind Slides. This is the first proper episode, episode 3. Welcome. I just explained the premise to my sisters so that we don't have a repeat of the last incident. So they know the premise. But now, let's explain it to you, the listener. Does someone else want to do it? Just so you can prove to me, who is the professor this week, that you have a good understanding of what's about to happen?
I can do it, I think. Okay.
Okay, excellent.
Okay.
I raised my hand, but...
I'm really looking Wilson right in the eye. It's so that he's facing upward, basically, so I'm looking in his right eye. I'm just staring into one of his eyes. He's staring directly at me. He's like a prey animal. He's got an eye on each side of his head.
The cat's lost both of Kevin's eyes, so I don't have them anymore.
Oh. I have more.
I probably need some more.
But that's a problem for later.
Yeah.
Bella said she could explain.
Okay.
Oh, I'm Julie. Let's just get a clean read. Okay. Oh, hi. We didn't see you there. Come in. This is Blind Sides. I'm Julie.
I'm Bella.
And I'm Leia.
Why did Julie go first?
Because I am the only one that ever is able to do anything for this podcast. I have to make the first presentation. I have to get us to record. I have to fix Leia's mic problems.
Hey,
it's because you're
I have to
the
edit.
funny and smart one.
Oh, that's why I went first.
Hi. Didn't see you there. Did you know that lead poisoning causes amnesia?
Memory loss.
Memory loss. Sorry, I forgot.
That one took a second.
Thank you.
Okay.
I feel like it's funny.
I'm Julie, and this is Wilson.
Oh, yeah. I'm Bella, and this is Kevin.
And I'm Leia, and this is my microphone, Velma. And I think we should keep all 3 intros that we've done.
Okay. So, basically, every week, so this week, it's Julie. She's the professor. And she gets to decide who does the best job presenting her presentation, which we have not seen. Leia and I have seen never before in our lives. And we're going to see it. The person who goes first gets to, make jokes the first, but the person who goes second gets to see before they have to make jokes about it. And really, it's not about making jokes. It's about, well, what is it about?
The friends you make along the way.
It's about the friends you make along the way. But yeah, so one of us wins and one of us loses, and whoever loses has to make the PowerPoint for next week. But there is no context. So
that's why the name of the show is Blind Slides?
Yeah, we don't know what's on this
slides.
PowerPoint, and we don't know what it's about. And we are about to try to present it to the best of our ability.
All right. Are we ready?
Each in turn.
I'm I believe so.
I'm streaming, but don't click into the stream yet. I don't believe
Oh.
either of you have, but don't do it yet.
I just did just now because you said we were starting, but
Yeah, it's
okay.
okay. Don't worry. It was on, for that reason, it was on a different tab.
It was on YouTube.
It was on Simulating the Evolution of Aging by Primer.
Yeah,
Very
I
good
was
stuff.
Really confused by the pink.
You thought I made like a whole
mustache.
video. It's like make a presentation, and I've
No.
recorded a YouTube video.
I actually went and
became a
got my
YouTuber.
degree.
I became a doctor, and I got. That's why it took me 4 whole weeks.
Yeah.
I had to become a famous YouTuber.
And get my doctorate, and then publish research in order to back up my own claims.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, quick thing before we start. This is important part of it is you are my 2 debaters. You are allowed to ask questions in the middle of your opponent's presentation.
Oh.
Like if you really want to push them, like you don't have to just give them the floor. That's boring radio. If you're like, what does that mean? Interrogate them about it if you want to. If you want to try and sabotage the other presenter, go for it, my guy.
This is a battle.
This is a battle, and you
Okay.
really don't want to lose because making these presentations is harder than you think.
That tracks. Okay, let's do it. I'll go first. Hello, sharks. Today, I've come to you with an exciting new business opportunity.
That's
Pushing your spouse
so
off a cliff.
beautiful.
Whoa.
Okay, so that's a really interesting, strong start. If that's not what the rest of the presentation is about, I will be taking points off, just so you know. So just be careful about what kind of claims you
So
make.
you're saying-
Are you ready for the next slide?
You want it to track throughout. You want it to be cohesive presentation.
I want it to be a sensical, cohesive.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
rating you on who gives the best
Okay,
presentation.
that makes sense.
Okay, but question for this combat, that doesn't mean we get to do no but. We're still yes-anding, right?
I mean, sometimes no but is the funniest part of improv. So
Okay. But can we establish a general premise of cooperativity?
no, we've just established the opposite of that. This is a battle, and your opponent is gonna push you and ask you questions and try to trip you up.
I mean, I'm not.
Okay,
we're not
fine.
gonna like.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
not cold-blooded,
yeah.
cutthroat,
Yeah.
but like
Okay.
they're allowed to push you on stuff that doesn't make sense.
This is friendly competition.
That's right.
Sure. Let's say
Oh,
that.
Okay. All right. Yes, sharks. I am here to tell you about the beautiful thing of marriage insurance and marriage fraud.
Oh my god.
You
And
are
why you should push
really
your
starting
spouse
off
off a
with
cliff.
bold claims. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's just really funny to me because I want you to know when I was making this presentation, I started on the first slide before I had any other ideas about what the rest of it would be about, and I left the first slide unedited. So
That's incredible. Thank you.
that's a
I
tough
appreciate that opportunity.
start. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the next slide for you.
Yeah, just say
Yes,
next
please.
slide when you want the next slide.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
allowed to switch it, but if you don't, I will too. I hope you like my transitions. Did you see the
That was
transitions?
beautiful.
I did. That was incredible.
Turned into a square.
It did. Turned into a cube. That's the name of the transition. Is cube.
A cube. A 3D square.
Yeah, and it rotated.
Love that
Very
guy.
cool. I love. No, one thing about Bella, she loves cubes.
That's her son's middle name.
Oh my gosh.
This is my son, Cube. Can you imagine?
Yes.
Okay,
It'd be great.
we gotta get through 2 presentations, so
Alright.
go ahead.
Oh, there's 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait,
One
no,
for you and
Bella,
one I
you and
do.
then Bella.
Oh.
What do you mean? Oh.
Well, okay.
We just I explained the premise to you, and then Bella explained the premise again, Leia. Leia, no.
What do you mean?
This premise has been explained twice.
I should have let Leia explain it because I knew she didn't get it. In my heart of hearts, I knew.
Oh,
I said, I don't think
boy.
Leia gets this.
I thought I did get it. See, we did it again. Oops, I did it again.
I don't know how this happened.
Because I thought we were trading off on slides.
No,
Well-
you're giving a whole presentation,
Oh, okay, sick. That's way better, actually.
and then Bella has to give the whole presentation.
See, I prefer this format to what I thought it was. The age-old question.
How did you think I was grading your presentation on
No one-
cohesiveness?
No one knows.
If okay, whatever. Go ahead.
Well,
No one knows.
that's why I was confused about
Go ahead, slide 2.
cooperativity. The age-old question, we all know, deep in our heart of hearts, the age-old question, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. And what most people actually forget to acknowledge about that quote is that he was under duress by his spouse at the time, because she had just taken out a life insurance policy on his life. So
I love that you're sticking with this, even though I basically told you point blank, that's not gonna work. You should take a different... You also don't have to go into detail. You could have just said next slide.
Next slide. But
Okay.
also, I kind of want to make it work.
Good luck.
Uh-oh.
As a person who knows what's coming, good luck.
We'd have an all-new cast in this household because
One of them died.
one of them died. Pretty much. How do I say this?
Under mysterious circumstances.
Under mysterious circumstances. Exactly. Next slide.
Wow, that
Oh
was
my god.
I hope you liked that
incredible
really loud
transition.
boom
That-
sound.
Oh my goodness, the fire. Guys, there's a
Jesus.
fire and an explosion, a mushroom cloud on the screen.
It's on fire! Someone get the extinguisher.
Throw my
I hope you
computer
liked
across
my-
the room.
Yeah. Start stamping on it. Like, no! I gotta put the fire out.
You're gonna have to insert that sound just for the podcast because
I figured that might happen to
the
me.
ever-loving
It was
shit
very
out
loud.
of me.
I didn't think it would be that loud.
Um,
Also, I can't make the fire stop looping.
yeah, there's a pixel art explosion on my screen.
Oh, by the way, audience at home, the slide will be posted to the slides will be posted, like a link to the slides will be
Oh.
posted on the socials so that you can go and see. You could follow along if you wanted. This is a multi-audio-visual medium.
Incredible. Are you? I wish I had an announcer's like echo. Can you put that
gotta
effect
get a
on in post?
soundboard.
I gotta get
Get a voice
gotta get
modulator.
Yeah, but are you ready for the PowerPoint of the ages? Next slide. Let's begin. It's time to discuss. Next slide. Oh God.
I like that reaction. This is what I was waiting for. We've gotten into the actual content of the slideshow, and Leia's realizing what she said so far, the storyline she's laid out, she's planned for, is not gonna work.
You don't know if I'm married to a clown or not. We're talking about clownotypes. More specifically, my clown types. My clown wife
Your commitment
types.
to this through line
next slide.
is impressive. I'm honestly
Mhm. Thank
hoping
you.
to see you pull it off.
Thank
It would be impressive. I also like that you didn't. I'm just gonna go to the next slide. But I also like that you didn't read the other words on the screen.
Mm.
Explain to us what we're
So,
looking at.
In my hunt, we, sharks, we are looking at the Mr. Mime, I believe.
It's a Pokemon.
And more specifically, it's the Pokemons. So what you'll notice in this typical clown type
Sorry,
of
I have a
wife that
question.
you could be searching
Hand raise.
for in
What's the difference between a clown type and a
Mhm,
clowno
yes.
type?
Yes.
I don't.
Because you said both.
See, that's actually a very interesting question. So, much like blood types, O means that it's universal. So anyone is down to clown with
Great
these
political
guys.
non-answer. Thank you.
Very good question. Thank you. So, what you'll notice about this clown type that we see on the screen.
Oh, I don't know. We'll just. Oh, hi, audience. Leia sounds different now because
God.
her microphone is hot garbage.
I sound different now.
I mean,
don't say that. Jake
no,
might
I
listen
mean,
to this.
it's not your fault. You didn't know. No one knew. No one knew when you bought the microphone that it would be hot garbage.
Okay.
It's back. We're back to Kevin 1, original Kevin. That did
OG
not sound
Kevin
very good when all
for
of us
the
were yelling
win.
into it. It was really bad. It should sound a bit better now that just Leia is using it. But Kevin's back. All right, we're back on the Mr.
Hopefully.
Mime slide. Let's get back into it.
Okay.
Go on.
I was in such a groove. Okay, so if you're looking for your not so permanent partner, these are the things that you can look for to identify a clown-o wife.
That was a good line.
As I like to call them.
It all worked out. All of
Uh,
the microphone troubles were worth
you.
it because we got Clowno wife.
Exactly. So you can be searching for balls. Now I know what you're thinking,
Gross.
but it's actually
Yeah, gross, obviously. But not in my clowno wife. In my clowno wife, we have massive spherical shoulder joints. You're looking for balls. You are looking for some of the most bizarre hair, gravity-defying, if you will. Some anatomical choices that seem simply impossible,
Are you
inhuman.
trying
But
to convince
that's
us
what
that
you
we
want.
a clown wife?
Clown O wife, Bella. It's different.
No,
Excuse
I'm
me,
saying
I'm so sorry.
it's exactly because they're universal.
What does that mean?
Everyone wants a clowno wife because it's
I'm
like
gonna
the
cut
blood
you
type,
off.
Bella.
We're gonna
Like
go
the
to the
blood
next
type.
slide.
Okay.
It's not your fault.
I-
It's just been looking.
Ow.
Mr. Miles
Okay,
been looking
I
into
was
my
g-
soul for too long because of the technical difficulties, and I
No.
need to switch the slide.
To get away from him.
Understood. This is one you can grab and go, chuck them off the cliff, collect the
Sorry,
insurance.
why is this?
Next.
Why is this one better / easier to chuck off a cliff?
Well, you see, these are the common types, and also because they're so spherical,
Got
they're
it. So
centered.
number one is common.
They are so easy to knock over. Yes, they're a common type. Number one is a common type. Really not worth keeping around for anything else. And because they're just
So
made
because
up
you
of so
called
many
them
balls
clowno
and so
wives,
ball-like.
Clowno wife, it feels like we're really getting into dangerous territory. We're like, this one, this object, you just throw her off a cliff. But just just heads up. That's what it sounds like a little bit. Just gonna click to the next slide.
He's
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay.
I love him.
Oh, God.
Christian
but
Bale,
no, this
a
one.
classic.
This one's
Give
one's
us
yes.
Canonically straight.
We are looking at the Howl of Howl's Moving Castle. But this one's a pretty one. You want to keep this one. This one is ethereal. This one, you'll fuck around and find out, and it'll be a great time. This one, personally, I'd keep them around for maybe a good 2 or 3 years, kind of like a long-term
That
partner.
does not sound long term to
Get
me.
hitched,
That sounds very
and
short
then-
term.
keep around for 2 or 3 years.
2
then
to
chuck
3
them
years
off a
is
cliff.
extremely short term.
Apparently, for Leia, I think is going through. Insurance scams like really rapidly. I think maybe we need to look into this deeper.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, they said
Not
be gay,
this
do
crime, not gay
and
on
I
gay
really took
crime,
that to heart.
Leia.
Gay
I
on
just
gay
want to
crime.
say,
So, great
said
for insurance
keep 'em-
and a good
Do you
time.
want to keep them
Yes, yes,
around
yes.
for a long time, but now you're saying don't keep them around for a long time?
Keep them around for a long time, but a long time is only 2 to 3 years.
A long
back.
time-
So a long time is a short time.
Yes, a long time is like, I
It's
mean,
all
you can stretch it out to
relative,
5
you know?
if you feel like it, but it's all relative, baby
And
girl.
then you insurance fraud. throw 'em off a cliff.
Anyway,
Okay.
next slide.
Next slide. Something.
And then you insurance fraud. I mean, it doesn't have to be thrown off a cliff. It could be.
Let me stop you there.
A
I just want to say
car
also something I
accident.
love about your presentation style is your refusal to address the points on the screen. You just ignore them and say your own thing entirely.
And so what we have here is the devil
Thank you for
from
knowing how to pronounce
the
that
Bible.
correctly. Probably a lot of people don't know
Um,
that.
Of course, yeah. I don't like to dabble in these kinds, especially for, what we're discussing here, Clowna Wives, specifically in terms of life insurance claims. Just because if you can kill this person, that's just too much, honestly. You can't
me.
get away with the animal companion, heart of gold, devil from the Bible, misunderstood, but still loves
question.
everyone
How
archetype.
do you know that
Yes,
heart
yes.
is pure? It's just an arrow pointing to her boobs.
Well,
That's
I
a
mean,
great question.
you really answered the question right there.
Boobs equal pure?
Boobs.
As
No.
opposed to clonotype 1, where you're like, oh, who
but
wants
yes.
these balls? Get these
So-
out of here. Boobs, on the other hand.
Everybody wants
Yeah,
this.
who wants these bulbs? Boobs, on the other hand, yeah. that it's a little hard to distinguish, especially for people like kind of new to the field, because you think, oh, spheres, perfect. But it's very important that you pay attention to the placement. But yes, the pure heart is something that we can learn contextually based on the placement of the spheres and based on the animal companion. So the two coming as a pair.
The boobs?
Yes, I am referring in this context to boobs. Yes.
The heart is where the boobs are.
They come in all shapes and sizes, but the placement is very important.
The boobs are where the heart are.
Yeah, the spheres actually gravitate, yes, towards that. The stronger the purity of the heart, the more they gravitate, which is why you can tell by the distance on clown type 1 that you could chuck them off a cliff, no moral quandary there.
The more they gravitate.
Go ahead, actually.
Yeah, next slide.
What is
gravitate just like attracted, or
well, you see
to each
like
other,
truly,
to
like
the
the
earth.
pure
Yeah,
heart
so-
has some kind of gravitational
heart.
pull. Like, which is it?
Yeah, no, so
the
there's
earth.
a
Like,
specific
did your boobs just get
correlation that we
saggy?
found over time.
When you're pure of heart.
That's why my boobs are so saggy.
That's why.
Nothing to do with the baby you had. I've gotta cut you off. We've been on this slide too long.
Another one of my personal favorites. So what we have here is Vash from Trigun Stampede. You can actually see the crushing weight of guilt. These ones are definitely interesting. I think of them as sort of a middle ground between type 2 and 3. Here we have a twink of a clown. Personally, I find them very charming, very friendly. The insurance payout will be great. Next slide.
Unexpectedly hard to kill.
He really seriously. He's like
What we
incredibly
have
like
here.
live and can shoot guns and like do barrel roll. It's impressive.
He lived in
And that's
the
why
weird
this old
verse
man
for
is
like 20
unexpectedly hard
years.
to
So this
kill.
is Stanford Pines. So here we find sort of an intersection between clownotypes and Old Man Yowie.
Old Man Yowie. It's
So
just an old
we
man.
have
Leia.
wherever the old man is, so is the Yowie, Julie.
Stop. Time out. Bella, do you know what
Okay.
Yowie is?
No, I do not. And
Okay.
that was the
and
original
we're not going
premise
to address it.
of the podcast that I suggested is
That
everybody
is for a
different
different
you guys explain
episode.
to me stuff I don't know, which
If
is
Leia
apparently
loses,
a
next
lot.
week is going to be on Yowie.
Okay.
So these ones, very charming. And what's great about them is that because it's an old man, you don't have to wait that long
gosh,
if you
I
want to get
forgot
that
we were talking
long-term
about
sort of
throwing them
payout.
off
It's just that
cliffs.
kind of care. That's not the only method, but it is the most efficient. We have, an ingenuitive,
Leia, we're on
unexpectedly
like
hard to kill
slide
slob, which
10.
is why you
we
have to wait
to
for
keep
his.
going.
Oh God, how many clownotypes
had
did
to
you
catch 'em all.
collect? She had to catch them all. This is why you wait for his natural expiration date. Next slide. Oh, we have a bonus round. We're gonna have some unexpected clownotypes coming up.
That's the slide.
Next slide. It's
You can say next slide if you want.
it's a
Oh,
black man.
can't say that.
You can't say that. That's getting cut out.
More mouse bites. Yeah,
my
sorry. No
gosh.
one understands. no one
The House
understands.
MD TikTok.
No one understands the
I
reference
showed
to
Leia
House
that
MD.
over Christmas break. It's so funny. The video
think
is
so.
like every episode of House MD. And then he's like, I have a disease and my nose is bleeding. And then it's like House MD. It's like he needs more mouse bites to live. I think only a stupid person would try the hygiene drug. And then what's his name? The guy. He goes, I am a black man.
Oh yeah,
Chase?
which one? The doctor. The
Oh,
one of the doctors
uh,
that was under him.
Foreman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Foreman. I just started watching House
I watched
MD
all of it,
unironically a little bit.
I binged
years
it when I was
ago.
in middle school.
Oh my God.
In 7th grade.
Maybe 10 years ago.
What?
No.
It was
Oh
really
my
good.
God.
Like 8 years ago.
I didn't realize I was late
old
to this
show.
party. Anyway, so that's my next clownotype. Bonus round clownotype is House MD.
It was
Next
supposed to be a
slide.
Black Mirror situation.
Oh.
You know how
Oh. I'm the.
you're the clown?
So, you see, the joke's on me because I am the clown. Yes, and
You're
so
House
this
MD?
is
Oh my God.
one of my. I am House MD. I'm the clown.
Yes.
I'm the
yes,
clown.
you are the clown.
Next slide. You might all be wondering, why should you be choosing a clown for your insurance scam? The answer's simple. Next slide.
Go on. Now that we've got that out of the way, that's what the slide says.
The answer's simple. You know what? I prefer that. The answer's simple. Now that we got that out of the way. Next slide.
Go ahead. Tell me what this means. Bella, are you alive? I just thought that was so funny. It sounded like he was just me and like.
No, I laughed.
Okay.
I'm in my
We just all
head
sounded
now.
too similar.
Now in my head, I'm just trying to formulate a through line for this entire thing, and I can't for the life of me come up with
That's the
one.
goal.
Okay. Oh, I need a second. Okay. So, now that we got that out of the way, rules. No repeats. No arguments. No shirt. No shoes. No service. Get out of my goddamn house. Next slide. Aang,
This is a new,
the
different
Avatar: The Last
clonotype,
Airbender.
you're saying.
This is a new, different. Well, actually, I would say no. This is a repeat. This is an example. This is an example of a previous archetype, which was
Something like
number
this
3.
This example
I
of a
believe.
clonotype 3, which is easy to throw off a cliff.
So, actually, the method of dispatch would definitely
That's a
not
great
be
point.
throwing off a cliff. That would be one of the more difficult ways to dispatch this child. This is our pure of heart animal companion, deeply misunderstood by the world, but still gives his very best and very all to those around him
Okay,
for
so
the
you,
betterment of humanity.
earlier you said
which is
that would
why,
be a really
again,
hard clonotype to throw off a cliff. I see that. But I also see a section on
Yes.
this this slide that says counter arguments and their counter arguments. So this would it looks like according to your premise, this would be a counter argument for why this clonotype is actually easy to throw off, and then the counter argument to why that argument is invalid. So why do people think being bald makes him easier to throw off a cliff?
because society won't go
aerodynamic.
looking
So
for
true.
bald people, but
He is
also
and that's the counter argument.
Yeah.
His counter argument is aerodynamic. That's why it makes it easier, in fact.
Yes.
Okay, so great
Yes,
power.
yes,
Go
yes.
ahead. Great power. Why is
Um,
that? People think that makes him easier to throw off a
great
cliff.
power.
Power is heavy.
See, power is actually
Oh,
very dense.
wow.
Yes.
You guys are on the same page about that.
It's so, yeah, it's very concentrated in this 12-year-old's body, which is why I would like to add a disclaimer to this slide. This is not a clowno wife. This is simply a
Well, I mean,
classification
he does
of a
get,
clowno
also,
type.
he does get older, and also I would like to point you to your own third counter argument, very old.
True.
Yes.
Secretly,
Yes,
is
yes,
actually
yes.
very old.
So, yeah.
He's 100.
Yes, he secretly is actually very old.
And why does that make
so,
him easier
you
to throw
know,
off the cliff?
he's
Just because
100.
being old and decrepit.
Yeah, because you'd suspect old people don't
And the
fight
counter
back.
argument
They're
to that.
super easy to just chuck off cliffs. Is that he is in fact still in his prime, as his body is still the age of 12.
Very
so it's very
cool.
deceiving. Yeah, he would not be easy to throw off a cliff. Clownotype number 2. So this one is another sort of debatable clownotype. This is Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I would debate that she
So why did
is
you include
not
her in this
that
slide
much
if
of a
you don't feel that she
clownotype.
is a clownotype?
Well, specifically what's interesting about her is that she is very aesthetically could be perceived as a clownotype, but I want to bring this to everyone's attention that she does not fulfill the requirements to be a clownotype in the personality and spiritual and lifestyle that comes with
Isn't
being
an answer to
a
the question
clownotype.
I asked, which was, so why did you include her if she's not a clownotype? Why did you include her as a clownotype too?
Oh, I wanted to raise awareness. So this is for people getting into the
This is
field of
counterexample then. Okay.
wife clowning. Yes, this is to be informative as
So we should just
a
skip
counter
this slide,
example,
really.
where it's commonly misunderstood. So despite her having interesting hair and interesting outfits and interesting powers,
I'm a
and
feminist.
being a feminist emotionally, see, that doesn't
I'm a
make
feminist.
you.
I'm a feminist. That video is so funny.
I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist. No one's gonna get it. Add it to the Instagram links. But yeah, so looks can be deceiving. Personality-wise, she does not fulfill the clownotype archetype. So next slide. Now what we have here, this is especially why we have Katara in the previous slide. This is Sokka. Sorry, I was laughing at my own PowerPoint where some of the evidence I put was that he does include
have
balls.
balls.
He does have balls.
Presumably.
Unlike the other two.
He does have balls, which can presumably.
You guys haven't seen the full frontal sock.
Well, believe me, I'm sure they're out there.
They definitely are.
Oh, they super are. Oh, God. Yes. So Sokka, unlike his sister, fulfills both the visual and emotional and spiritual aspects of being a clown and a clownotype. So we see he has balls, and he does a silly little dance and noises, and if you've ever seen the cactus juice scene, you'll understand that pretty much all of his clown-type energy can be summarized in about a 10-second clip. Counter-arguments to this is that he is a war guy. This counter-argument is because he's a war guy, he will be prepared at all times.
Sneak attack!
On the defensive. He won't be easy to throw off a cliff. Sneak attack, yes. Sokka, it's not a sneak attack if you yell sneak attack. Surprisingly, while he's so on the defensive, because he's a war guy, he's too busy playing with little figurines on a table to realize that you're
Why would
even
he be
about to
playing
push him
with
off a
little
cliff.
figurines
Yeah.
on the edge
Yes,
of the cliff,
yes,
though?
yes.
That's also a great point.
Because we were on a
Took
cliff
him on a
date.
cliff date.
We
You
were on a
planned
date.
it.
He
I
trusts
see.
me fully. I took him on a
He's
cliff
easily
date.
distracted
Yes,
by war.
yeah. You gotta. He's very easily distracted by war. He is very resourceful, which is why you do have to be careful about the cliffs that you choose. It's very possible he will find a branch, or just survive based on pure bounciness.
And
as
what way is
previously
bounciness-
stated, he has
the
balls.
balls. That makes sense. I was going to ask
Yeah,
what way
yeah,
resourcefulness
the
is
balls.
tied to bounciness, but now I see it's the balls. Bounciness is stored in the balls.
I was about to say that.
I'm just going to clean me. Let Bella say it.
Bounciness is stored in the balls.
There we go.
Bounciness is stored in
Rubber
the
bands,
balls.
rubber balls. They have super special density.
I forgot about that song. It's a
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was so long ago. Oh man. Oh, and because he is
I'm a feminist.
misogynistic, he won't expect that me, a woman, would push him off a cliff. He wouldn't expect that I'm strong enough. And that's
So-
actually part
I'm
of his
sorry.
arc, is that he realizes after being pushed off a cliff,
Okay, so that's
I
when
was in fact strong enough.
demisoginized comes in. Is you demisogynize him by pushing him off the
Yes.
cliff.
Yeah. That's the counter argument. Is that if you do in fact fail on your first attempt, he will no longer be misogynistic. Yeah. Next slide. This is a hotly debated clonotype.
I like the typos in your presentation here. Like on the last one, I saw. Let me just go back really quick. I saw surprised by unsurprising name, whereas the clonotype that it's related to is surprised by unsurprising things. And I also like that on the next slide you're missing a dash. Like I think it really adds character. And it really feels
Yes,
like you were
thank
making
you.
this
I was
at
actually-
2 a.m. last night, and that's impressive to me. The dedication that you have to this podcast.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I really appreciate you.
Well, I was like asleep in
picking
my
up on
bed.
that. That's
You
just
were working
really
hard for this, and I'm really grateful to you for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of appreciation in the room tonight, and I'm gonna hold
11:15.
space for that. It's 11:15, so we're gonna start burning through this.
think we have, like,
Okay,
3
we
more
got
slides,
rich kid
so-
with
yeah, okay, go
loving
ahead.
parents who she hates. So, perfect. Loving parents who aren't actually super duper healthy. So, part of that is the trauma. Part of that is the ability to kind of fuck around and find out within
Sometimes
the
I feel like
bounds
you're
of
just making
having
word soup,
finances
to be honest
and
with you.
wealth.
Sometimes I feel like if you put a bunch of words in a hat and start
Well-
pulling them out, and then just like you're building a bridge as you're running.
Period.
You know?
And that's
Building a
my
bridge is
brand.
Like
It's called
what's
speed
it called?
bridging,
What's,
Julie.
like a master
God.
builder in the Lego movies.
Oh my gosh.
Like a master
That's what I'm
builder.
visualizing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, honestly. Okay, so yeah, this is a interesting type. We got slobby, ingenuitive, unexpectedly hard to kill. Interesting sort of juxtaposition in sort of the
I
blorboness
think you're
shape of them
misremembering
and
type
the-
that is.
Yeah, why did you... No, she's not misremembering. She's... What's the purpose of this?
I mean, I think she's both misremembering and also what's the purpose of this slide?
You-
Why is this clonotype easy or hard to kill?
This clonotype
In one sentence, tell me, why is this clonotype easy or hard to kill?
in one
I mean, to throw off a cliff.
easy
rather.
or hard to kill. Let's see. Well, this one is
Okay.
impossible
And
to
that's
throw
the
off
one
a cliff.
sentence.
She's an
That's the one
earthbender.
sentence.
So
You got
incredibly
now.
difficult to kill. Yeah, sure. Okay, clonotype number 4 example. We have Zuko
really
from
felt funny
Avatar:
about
The
Zuko. I
Last
heard that
Airbender.
fist
This
slam.
one. Yes, no, my fist did
My
slam.
fist did
I feel
slam.
very strongly about Zuko. Yeah, literally, it's my fist against my other fist. That's exactly what I did. So
Brocken.
she's hashtag Brocken. So much guilt, so much trauma. You actually can fix her.
Wow.
You know, surprising. This is one of the times you actually can fix her. I
One
know
of
it's
those
a real,
points I'm most
real
interested on
plus.
this
So
slide is why does girl failure make her easy or hard to kill?
So, I mean, part of that is that just purely on an emotional level, I could not kill her.
That's
I
the
could not kill
counter-argument.
Zuko.
So what's the counter argument to that counter
yeah.
argument?
She comes from a really rich family.
Just really enticing.
really
that overpowers
enticing.
The desire not to kill.
Yeah, no, it's honestly the
And look at him with his
weighing
sad
the
little
two
eyes in this
between,
picture.
like,
He
the
looks like
guilt you'll live in.
really like. How could you kill that
Yeah, you
face?
chose the most golden retriever photo I think I've ever seen of Zuko in my entire life. I think you should have put up pigtail Zuko, but that's my hot
you chose
take.
that photo. Why did you choose that photo?
Yes, when
It's your
I chose that
presentation.
photo, just to remind myself how incredibly difficult it would be to kill Zuko. Slide. And what have we learned today?
That Leia can talk for
That-
30 minutes and say
We need to
nothing.
start recurring. I can
and
talk for
so
30 minutes and say
one
nothing, and
of
that's
the
my
things I think
skill.
I
This
didn't
is why
understand-
I need to work in an office.
I didn't consider when incepting this podcast and thinking that's a great idea is just how much my little sister can talk about nothing
I know.
very confidently, say nothing for how long she can do that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if we let her, she would have gone for 3 hours, and I'm not kidding.
I believe
think she could
so.
have done that.
As we have discussed previously,
You know, it's got its pros and
that
its
is
cons.
literally
It's
the
got its pros
only
and its
advantage
cons.
I have.
And I'm definitely feeling those cons
Yeah,
today.
no, it's
Thank you.
So, what have we learned today? Some clown wives are easier to catch, easier to kill, easier to get life insurance payouts
I
from.
really do think
Thank
we
you.
are going
Have a
to
good
have
night.
to start instituting word limits per slide. Word limits per
time
slide,
limits,
per slide
yeah.
on Leia.
Yeah.
I don't think Bella will need that, but I think Leia might need
Yeah.
that as a rule added to her specifically.
That is true.
It's my first try.
Wow.
Gotta figure
that's
out
a
the
beautiful
pacing.
man-dog thing.
It's,
It's a cloudotype.
so, just to clarify, is this my slide?
slide. You forgot. You have 2 more slides. This one and then the next one.
Oh.
You said good night.
Oh, I must have put them in when I was really, really
No, I think it was
feeling
one of the first things
fatigue,
you put
the
in, and it just
exhaustion.
ended up going last for some reason.
Really?
Really? I was so exhausted, wouldn't remember. I'd like to say,
Yeah. So
man,
true.
Next slide. And that's it. Thank you, sharks, for listening. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I'm going to insert clapping
have a good night.
sounds because it will sound better if we clap on mic. Thank you so much for sharing that presentation with us. I'm going to go ahead and pass the time over.
Absolutely.
To
My
your
pleasure.
TED Talk is done now? It's me now. I'm going to go ahead and pass the time over to our other guest speaker today, Bella. I'm going to start you back off at Hello Sharks, and I think maybe you've had time to form a game plan. I'm excited to hear your take on this slide deck. Thank you.
I've got this.
All right, go ahead and begin.
Hello, sharks. Next slide, please.
Of course.
The age-old question, and that question, I know you're all thinking it. We're all thinking it. How can you boil down funny people into 5 distinct categories? How do you do it? And we've all wondered. We all want to know. We're going to find out. Next slide, please.
Okay.
All new cast. Okay. Listen.
I'm wondering how many of these you forgot, how many of these slides you forgot existed because we went over them so fast.
Quite a
and
few.
now you're like trying to figure out how to put it back into your plan, your
Indeed.
through line that you planned.
All new cast. What do I mean by that, you ask? It's very simple. I'm talking about the cast of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the cast of Avatar: The Last Airbender, each of them can be fit into a very specific type of funny guy. Now, I said
Now.
I said all new cast because we've never talked about this before, and now we're going to talk about it. It's new to you guys. All right, moving on.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wow, that's a loud boom.
Oh,
Boom,
I forgot
it
to.
says.
Jesus Christ.
PowerPoint of the ages, and there's fire.
Big
PowerPoint of
boof.
the ages, big fire, because it's gonna be epic, and I'm gonna show you how. And by the end of this, you're gonna agree with everything I say. I promise. Let's begin. Clownotypes. An introduction. Key metrics to be looking out for. Bet you're wondering, what the hell is a clownotype? Clownotype? Well, like I said, we're trying to boil every person in the universe down to a specific type of funny guy. Everybody is one of these funny guys.
I see. It's all
Everybody.
making sense to me now.
Now, let's get into
Every
Okay.
single person. So I'm going to have some questions later about people that exist and what clonotype they would fall into. So just be
Great.
ready for that, okay?
Okay, number 1, the Mr. Mime clownotype. He's surprised by unsurprising things. Always got a surprised face on. He's got a body made largely of balls, or at least connecting all his joints. He stands really funny and stupid. Wide legs.
Funny and stupid.
Funny and stupid.
That's right, Mr. Mime. You're stupid.
And these are some pretty key traits of the first clownotype, Mr. Mime. Let's look at the second clownotype. Okay, this is a beautiful one. His name is Howl. Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. So we'll
all
call this
clowns with this clonotype, or the specific example of the clonotype too?
So this is the name of the clownotype too. The name is
Howl.
Howl.
Okay.
He's gay but straight. You never know. It's impossible to tell. They say he's straight, but he says, "Sophie, I'll never be beautiful again," and because she messed up his hair potion.
That does seem pretty gay.
And not that I'm,
You're right, Bella. The gays are obsessed with their appearance.
Straight men.
oh dear.
God.
Go
They
on.
just only care about their hair.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, they said gay but straight, question mark. It's impossible to tell. And that's a key to this clownotype. Big broad shoulders puff up in defense. So when Howl feels threatened, it does like to get large and make itself seem more intimidating. The Howl is an incredible accessorizer. Is that a word? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah, it
at
is.
accessorizing
Mm-hmm.
and very
Yeah.
literate. Always got at least one weird-looking book nearby.
One might even say a tome.
A tome, perhaps you could say it.
Yeah.
You could call it a tome. All right, now
A
for
wizard's tome, even.
our wizard's tome. For our clownotype number 3. This is the jester, I think.
Hey, great job. I'm shocked that you knew that.
Okay.
That is surprising.
I don't know anything else about
I'm also
this.
shocked that Leia didn't say it.
So, animal companion, pure of heart. We talked about this. Well, I mean, this is my first time ever presenting this, and I made this, and I just want to say that the key aspects of this.
I just want to say
Jester,
what's so strange is you've got a lot of similarities in this presentation to your cohort's presentation. I'm wondering if there was maybe some plagiarism problems in the research group, but go on.
Well, my cohort, I would just like to say, said a lot of nonsense about throwing people off cliffs, and this is completely unrelated to that.
Not at all what we study in our lab.
It's zero relation to what we study. We do study how to boil everybody in the world down to one type of funny guy, or clownotype. Now, as I said, this is the clownotype number 3, the jester. Must have animal companion. Those are extremely important. As well as a pure heart. Now, again, I just have to mention before we move on that the pure of heart is absolutely not related to whether or not the person has breasts. So I just want to say you can be pure of heart whether or not you have boobs. That has no
Now, some
bearing.
might argue no one can be pure of heart, and pure of heart is something
dear.
that is made up. What's your take on that?
You know, so pure of heart, it's not easily defined. It's kind of an amorphous, intangible.
Now, if this is a
idea.
scientific boiling down, a scientific categorization, I would say I would
social
pose.
science.
That's a great point. And social science isn't real science. You're so
That's
right. I
exactly
don't even know why I
right.
asked. I'm silly.
All right, so that's our clownotype number 3, and we can move on. Clownotype number 4. What's his name?
Don't tell her.
I am clownotype number 4.
I don't plan on it.
Trigun.
No, go ahead. You said you had a name. What's his name?
His name is
That's mean.
Stanley.
Stanley.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is
go for it.
clownotype number 4. Stanley.
Perfect.
One. That's
Got it in
exactly right.
one.
And I also like that, 1, you didn't know the real name, and 2, you couldn't come up with a fake name. You used the one that I came up with.
I think that's really fitting. Actually, I don't think it. I know it because my research group named this clownotype Stanley. So,
Because that's his name.
crushing weight of guilt. That really is carried in the chesticle area. The chest is the place where you carry all of the weight of your guilt, and that is a key marker of the number 4
So,
or
question.
clownotype. Yes.
Stanley Clownotype.
So does that mean that boobs are in fact an
question is
applicable
a
marker
chesticle.
for this
Oh,
archetype?
I did say chesticle. I'm so sorry. I misspoke.
Yeah, you said chesticles.
Well,
yes.
really.
Thank you for having the courage.
Well,
and the
as
bravery.
we all know, his boob
His
is
titty
in
is in
specifically
jail.
in a
Thank you for having
cage.
the-
So
the courage and the
His
bravery
titty is in
to admit
jail.
you made a mistake. But I do think your colleague / cohort / colleague Leia is right in that his titty is canonically in jail. And what do you think that means?
If I had to,
You're the meme of the guy standing in the
describe-
corner at the party. They don't know his titty in jail.
yeah, they don't know.
if I had to
Yes.
ascribe a meaning to that phrase, I would say that it's really about the metaphorical pain and suffering that he holds inside. That is the titty. The titty is the
Wow.
family drama, which is another key marker. The titty
The
is
family
the
that we
dead
lost
loved
along the
ones,
way.
the ones who have turned evil and thrown millions of knives at you, etc., etc. That's the titty that's in jail. It's in the jail of his
That's
ribcage.
I think that's
Or
beautiful.
The jail of his the titty jail. You get it.
Soul.
Yeah, of course.
Titty
I get
jail.
it.
Yeah,
And that's what you
for
always
sure.
say at a conference when you're like talking about a paper. Yeah, you know, you get it.
You get it. He is.
You get it.
Moving on.
That's the scientific term.
Our final clonotype, clonotype number 5, or the Grunkle Ford. Now, this clonotype is probably or perhaps the most powerful of them all, of the 5 clonotypes that we've discussed here today, and I saved the best for last. And I'll tell you why. He's incredibly hard to kill, despite old.
Yeah. Despite
Old.
old.
Despite old. Very ingenuitive, kind of a slob, but incredibly hard to kill, and very smart. He's very smart, you know? He can make anything.
Yes, I mean,
he
I
can
think that
make
goes hand in hand with ingenuity.
Yeah, he can make non-existent technology extant, and it's incredible. And that is the power of
It's
the
beautiful.
clonotype number 5. And it's funny in its own way.
So now that we've gone over the 5 different
It's inherently
types,
funny.
let's Leia, I don't know if you have any people or characters you have in mind that like you want to post. Let me ask you this, Bella. Which clonotype am I?
Ooh.
And we can go
Okay.
back and forth between slides if you need, but
Ooh.
which clonotype am I?
I am thinking...
Well, we do have specifically an animal companion, which I think is interesting, and the gay straight
Yeah, that's so
sort of
interesting.
ambiguity. But
And we all want to be a Howl, don't
yeah.
we? So you know,
Yeah.
it is a compliment.
we all want to
Let's
be a
look at
Howl.
slide
That's
number
true.
4 one more time.
Um,
You're not... Okay.
This one feels like it would be a self-read, honestly, because of the
Honestly?
family drama line.
Yeah.
If I was a Stanley.
Let's.
I think...
if you, I can't believe we're
his
still
name,
talking about
Leia.
I think
I'm sorry.
that you would be the jester, or clownotype number 3. Especially due to your animal companions, yes. Your animal companions, you're pure of heart, and again, extremely funny, which is implied by the fact that these are all clownotypes.
Of course. How about Leia? What
Sure.
clonotype is Leia?
If I had to, well, I can easily do this because every person in the world can be fit into one of these 5 categories,
Yeah, as you've said.
as I have stated a
That's
great
true.
number of times.
That's science.
Leia, you know,
That's-
so again, I haven't had the time to properly study either of you in a lab. Yes, in a lab,
setting.
I haven't
Ah.
had the chance to. I would have to describe Leia as a number 2 clownotype or a howl.
That's really nice. I see it with the accessorize.
Accessorize.
That is.
Uh,
I appreciate
puffs up in
that.
defense.
Yeah.
Gay but straight question
That's
mark.
a great point.
Well,
more
that
gay
one's
but
a little
gay,
less
but, you know,
ambiguous,
gay
but
but gay.
yeah. That's gay but gay.
Bonus.
I think that'll be
I wanted to
great
see
for
how long she
audio.
would do it. So I was just like, I'm just gonna keep quiet. She's still going. Bella, it's a GIF. It never ends. Bella, you gotta stop. You'll die. You'll run out of air.
I hope I didn't wake up my baby.
I hope so too. Doing an impression
Oh,
of an
God.
ambulance.
And it's a terrible impression. I was just doing the yo because it says the word yo
Says
on
yo.
the GIF. Not because that's how it actually sounds. What kind of ambulance is this?
It's a great question.
In the beginning, there was darkness.
2 titans locked in a timeless
In the
battle.
beginning.
In the beginning, there was darkness. And then, next slide, please. There was you.
Oh, whoa. That actually was profound. I did
Wow.
not expect that.
Thank you.
I mean, I know that's what it says on the slide, but the way you phrased it, you know, you set that up really good.
It's really
Next slide,
impactful.
Now, you might be wondering what I meant by that. And what I meant was, well, do I even have to explain it to you? Oh, yes, the answer is simple. You might be wondering, what did I mean by that? The answer is simple. Each one of us, as I have described many times over, can fit into one of the 5 clownotypes or funny guys.
So this is just a
single person-
reiteration. This big
this is
giant note asterisk is just
Yes.
a reiteration of the premise.
Yes. Well, it's not just a reiteration. It's bringing to your attention that, remember, you are a person, and you can be boiled down to one of these 5 funny guys or clownotypes. And we often forget about ourselves and think, I'm special and different, or I'm nothing.
Listener, be self-conscious. Consider yourself.
Consider yourself. Remember who you are.
And be sure to
One of these
force
5
yourself
archetypes.
into
Yes.
one of 5 categories, because
And if
you are
don't have a
bound to
label,
fit
there's
into
something wrong with you. That's
exclusively.
exactly
Seek
right.
help.
Exactly. That's what I've learned.
I like that you both are like, exactly.
And that is really the true message
Yeah.
of
Like
the
one of those
research that we've done here.
two guys podcasts.
Oh my
Two guys
god.
talking into microphones.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. Now that we've got that out of the way, no repeats, no arguments, no shirt, no shoes, no service. So there is no repeats because this is a show, again, one of the greatest shows ever created in the history of the universe. They're not going to repeat funny guys. They have one of each funny guy at the very least.
And
in
that's,
their
I think, the
main
key to
cast.
a
And that
success.
is
That's the key
to a
to
successful show.
TV show. It's a successful comedy. Yeah,
No
you gotta have at
repeats.
least one of each.
One of each
And
funny
actually,
guy.
only one of each.
Exclusively one of
So I
each.
guess
No
you
one
can
else can
only
be
have
funny.
5 characters
Yes.
because everyone has to fit into one of the 5
Well,
categories.
everybody
and there
else
can be
has.
no
Everybody
repeats.
else. Yes, indeed. You can only have 5 characters.
means
That is true.
Every
Just like there are
comedic
only
show can
5
have
characters
a maximum of 5 total characters
in Avatar: The Last Airbender. There are only 5.
Yeah, no supporting cast.
Nope. Now, first off,
Yeah,
who
go
are
ahead
we
and
going to
remind
put?
me. Who
Yes.
is Clownotype 3? What is it? What is the name of Clownotype 3?
Clownotype 3 is the Jester.
Oh, you remembered. Good job.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I made this, and I
yeah.
studied
Of
this.
course you know. It's your
I
research.
I did. I studied this very intently.
Yeah.
For many years, in fact. Evidence for Aang, he is categorized as a number 3, which always has an animal companion. Got an animal companion named Momo. And I almost said Moo.
Moo
I meant to go say, I was thinking of Appa, but then I was also trying to say Momo, and then for some reason Moo came out. Anyway,
Ong and Moo.
Aang and Moo. But he's also extremely pure at heart, and you know this because if you watch the show, then you just know that. And no, he doesn't have boobs, but that is not a prerequisite for being pure of heart. There's counter arguments, and there are counter arguments. The counter arguments for why he would be this clownotype include that he is bald and very old and has great power. But to those things, I would say hairstyle unimportant. In fact, your hairstyle can be whatever you want if you have an animal companion that sits on your head. And great power.
Sure.
I mean, you can be powerful. There's no.
Let me ask then, why are these the common counter arguments if these have no bearing on it?
Because you would think to yourself, bald equals scary. And
Okay.
large and imposing and hairless. Or
That's literally what bald means. But go on.
But yeah, and so just because this guy is very old, which people would say, oh, that would make him a clownotype number 5 or the Grunkle Ford, but really, he's young in his heart and also in his body because he was frozen in ice for 100 years.
He was cryogenically frozen like Walt Disney's head.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, this is Katara. I don't know if she has a last name. Katara from the Water Tribe, the Southern Water Tribe. She, extremely literate. She's very smart. She reads scrolls and stuff. They, in fact, stole a scroll for some reason so she could learn from it. That was the reason. That's not for some reason. That was the reason. She does love to accessorize. She wears her mother's necklace until it gets stolen and then I think found again by Zuko, both stolen by Zuko and returned to her by Zuko. Zuko had a really...
Yeah, that guy really loved to solve problems that he created.
Yes,
for
he
them,
did.
and then be like, "I fixed it."
this for you. And counter-arguments, and there are counter-arguments. She is loyal, and you might think that that is more like a Pokemon or the Mr. Mime, which is the Clonotype number 1. But in fact, she does not have balls. And I think that's very important.
That's a great point.
That's
We did really
why.
emphasize the balls as being number
That
one.
is important.
She's
Always remember, kids, balls are number one.
balls are number 1. Practical and
I'm a
reasonable.
feminist.
I'm a feminist.
And also, she's a small
I'm
town
a
girl,
feminist?
And so, Howl is a
Living in a lonely world?
That's exactly right. And
Exactly.
now, Clonotype number 2, you would think, is characterized by,
Ubiquity?
yeah, we'll say that. They're character.
They're just kind of everywhere. Multiple aliases.
Yeah. The Clonotype number 2, the Howl, is characterized by its ubiquity. It's all over the place all the time. It's got lots of names, knows lots of people. Unlike Katara, but what I would say to that, to counter that counter argument, is that she does go on an adventure and she travels and she does meet a lot of people and becomes ubiquitous in her own way. Moving on. Clonotype number 1 is what Sokka is. Sokka is a Clonotype number 1, and this, I think, we barely even need to talk about this. Again, it's very obvious. The evidence for this, surprised by...
One of those natural, like it really aligns with your just automatic go-to
yes.
thought. It's one of those
It's
easy
like,
decisions.
This is
easy
who
thoughts.
you are at your core, is the Clonotype number 1, or the Mr. Mime. Surprised by unsurprising things. He's surprised by a lot of unsurprising things.
Indignant, maybe,
Yes,
is a good word for him
indignant
specifically.
Is a good word for Sokka. He has balls, and that is one of the biggest
Don't believe me?
characterizings.
Look it up.
Don't believe me? Look it up. That's exactly right.
Please
right now.
do not look
Search
it up.
off. And
No.
look it up.
Up, then search Sokka Balls.
Go
It sounds like saying
Question
soccer
mark?
balls with an accent.
in all caps.
Soccer balls? Soccer balls?
Sokka Balls.
Soccer balls?
Sounds like a little kid.
Sokka Balls.
Title of this episode, Soccer balls.
Sokka Balls.
Counter arguments and their counter arguments. Nah, first off, some people would say he's a war guy. He's like trying to fight and be a man's man, and you can't have dumb little stances when you fight in war. But he does it. Don't know how. Throws his boomerang. Stands all dumb, and it works for him. So that's my counter argument to the counter argument that he's a war guy. Demisogynized. So demisogynized, you think he goes through this character arc, right? Of he's a misogynist, and then he grows as a human being and as a person. And you might say that makes no sense for a Clonotype number 1, the Mr. Mime, who does not ever grow or change. But I would argue that the Mr. Mime is already a feminist. And so, because Sokka has achieved that, he now squarely and clearly
Can't wait to
fits.
see your presentation on why Mr. Mime is a feminist. Thank you so much.
Clonotype number 1. All right, Clonotype. This is Toph. Let me just read it to you because I forget you guys can't see the screen. Well, you guys can, but the listeners cannot. This is Toph.
Again, if you go to our social media and see the link.
Yes, this is Toph. She is clearly a Clonotype number 5. She's kind of a slob. That is true. Just like Grunkle Ford, the Clonotype number 5. But she is very ingenuitive. In fact, she invented metal bending, which, and so that's pretty impressive.
Haha, non-bender.
I can bend everything.
Now,
Wow, she really
Avatar?
got me with her silence. That was the best way. That's the best way to handle a heckler. Just a long pause.
unexpectedly hard to kill. She's a child, so you would think that she would be less difficult to kill than an adult. However, she's incredibly dense.
That's
And
not
hard,
where I thought you were
and
gonna do that.
hard to knock over.
How do you
also,
know that?
I mean,
Have you pushed her around?
have you seen people try to push her around? It's impossible.
Have you?
Yeah, in the show.
Yeah, that's
She's
like
a
her
midget.
whole
Push her
introduction.
around? I feel like it's that she's good at earthbending.
Well, that too.
Not that she can't be pushed around.
Well,
I don't
same
think she's
thing.
dense.
They're related.
I don't know that they are.
The density of your body. Remember she, what does he say? Also,
What did you say?
the guy who played her in the Ember Island Players one was a very, very large screaming
But it was
man.
tough. Because it sounds like tough.
Tough. Exactly, 'cause she's tough. Which coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, in fact, is another characteristic of Clown Type 5, or the Grunkle Ford, is what I just said.
The one we were just talking about?
The thing we were just talking about.
Wow, what a coincidence. The thing I was just talking about leads right into the thing I was just talking about.
Literally, can I be honest with you guys?
Go ahead.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
I don't remember the words I said before I said that thing.
I don't know if I do either. We gotta get out of here. We got a few slides left, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
announce a winner. Okay.
Okay. Naivety.
You don't have to read everything on the screen.
Oh, you're so right.
You don't.
Okay.
You've been doing it for
Let's move
so
on.
long. You don't have to.
Let's move on. No, I think we covered it.
Okay. We're just not even. The counter arguments are so ridiculous that we're not even gonna address them.
Yeah. Oh, this is a
Yeah.
beautiful
Good
picture
time.
of Zuko. He's so sweet. He looks like he does. He
He's
looks like a
so
golden retriever.
cute.
Okay,
He does.
he's a clown type number 4, which, if
I
you
know.
remember, is the Stanley. The Stanley, the Trigon
Stanley.
Stanley. Now,
I forgot you called him Stanley.
I have a question.
I was like, who are we talking about?
So at this point, has the name still not come to you,
Was it like-
or are
No,
you just going with
there's
Stanley?
no way she remembers. Go ahead, give us
Vash?
a guess. Yes!
was it
I
Vash?
was wrong. It came to her.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my guess, but I was
it's
like,
been
no,
Vash
Yes!
the whole
that's
time.
Vasher.
It was inside you all along.
It was.
And
That's
that's
inside me all along.
It was inside you all
But
along.
it's still called, the clown type is still called the Stanley. Just because, we can't just change the
Named
name of the
after
clown
someone
type.
else. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So, clown type number 4, Zuko, he's clearly clown type number 4. He's got a lot of family drama, and the family drama, it's really part of the crushing weight of his guilt that he also has, and he carries in the chest. And also on his face, because his father burned him. But he carries it, and that's the point, is that he does have it. And that is really the biggest hallmark of the clownotype number 4, or the Stanley. He's hashtag Brocken, and that's just a misspelling of broken, and I don't know why I did that.
Every time Bella doesn't know something, I'm gonna have to make it into the meme of the guy standing in the corner. They don't know what hashtag
She's-
Brocken is.
Wait. Hashtag
I
Brocken
know.
is. Yeah. Wait, you've
Tune
genuinely
into our
never
podcast
heard that?
after the podcast where
It's-
we explain memes to Bella.
I told you guys that would have been
Exactly.
a good podcast premise.
I just feel like you don't understand.
Guest.
It doesn't come up. It doesn't come up unless it's organically. Like, I don't know what you don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's proficient in swords. He has a redemption arc, and you might say that, in fact, you know what? We don't need to talk about this. Onward.
Okay. Bella has ceased
Onward.
to take criticism to her arguments and has decided that no one's counter arguments are good.
They're all invalid.
Next.
What have we learned today? Now, that's
True.
really a question for you.
All counter arguments are invalid. That's what
All
I've learned today. That's
counter-arguments
what I'm
are
taking
invalid.
away.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah. And Bella
we've
is right.
learned
Everyone
that
else is
being pure
wrong.
of heart does not necessitate boobs. We've learned that all
You really
5
stuck to that point.
everyone- it is important to me because I want men to know that even
be
women.
pure of
I
heart
want
too.
women.
I never said it was necessary. I just said it was a clear indicator. And to be clear, I did specifically say spheres. I don't care how high up your balls
Ball
are.
moving surgery.
Well, let me just say, though, that's really confusing because the clonotype number 2...
He's known
or
for the balls.
The clonotype number 1, excuse me, is known for
Is
the
known
balls.
for the balls. Yes,
They are
yes.
very important.
Yeah, the balls
How-
are
how-
everywhere,
Howell
but they're
Moving Castle is
far
not
from the
known for his
heart.
balls.
Yes, this is
And
correct.
it's really important. We have to make a retraction. Howell Moving Castle is not known for his balls.
He is not. No.
Very canonically trans.
Is he canonically? I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I was going to
canonical.
say that's
Not
not what
canonically.
canonical means.
No, not
Extremely
canonically.
non-canonical.
Nope. In my
In your
head,
head
and in like, you know, a
No,
good
not
20%.
Anyway,
Yes,
You
my
know
head
what a
canon.
headcanon is, but you
I
don't
do.
know what hashtag
is
Brocken
not
is,
canon.
so it's like, how am I supposed to know that?
It's wild.
You can't read my mind? Then what even are we?
Normal, healthy relationship.
What have we learned today? We talked about how all people in the known universe can be boiled down to one of 5 funny guy clonotypes. Go in TV. And
Go
now-
forth.
And, now-
Oh, I
and now-
forgot. Why, Bella, why
This
did you
is
add 2 more
because-
slides?
The end. I like that there's I didn't realize this at the time, but there's a natural conclusion, and then there's 2 more slides.
so
Yeah. And then there's
This
2
is
more
just to
slides
remind-
that
this is
we
to
both
remind
managed
you
to put in.
all, now that we've concluded that everything is really hard work and you need to eat a sweet treat regularly.
I approve this message.
And you
All the
deserve it,
time.
and you should have it. And
We
this
approve
is just
this
your
message.
friendly reminder to do that. Thank you, sharks.
Love yourself.
Go get that
amazing.
sweet treat.
And now we insert the clapping sound.
God bless. Insert clapping noises. Yes, yes,
That
yes.
was great. Thank you to our presenters. What was that?
I was just making the ambulance sound again.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Like
I'm
you're
tired.
still going in the background. You've been going the whole time.
Should that be our fade out?
That'll be the
The
credits.
credits?
But thank you, audience, for joining
Yeah.
us at this esteemed, prestigious conference. Or no, I'm the professor this week. These are my guest speakers. Thank you, students, for coming. It was a really eventful time. And I mean, let me talk about some of the strong points and weak points. Some of the weak points of our first presenter, Leia, she really droned on a lot. I think she got bogged down in the details of her work. And then the second presenter discredited her and said that what her presentation was on wasn't what they researched. So that was interesting. I think
Yeah.
some of the highlights of the second presentation, our second presenter, was that sweet treat line. That'll always stick with me. I do think some of the weak points of that one was when she stopped
There are no
taking
weak
counter
points.
arguments. Just like this exact thing right now.
Exactly.
Like, there are no weak- because she just muscles through it in the same way. And that's the thing that they both shared, is if they just muscle through it and beat you over the head with their iron will, they think they can win. And that is so interesting to me. And they're so similar in so many ways. And while both of these were good, and I appreciate what they've done here with this research, I think, drumroll please, I think Leia, our first presenter, you get a B. And Bella, I think you, our
No.
second presenter, you get a B
an
plus.
Oh.
It was a real close one, but I think our first presenter just had a little bit too much with the flow issues. I think in the future, it
was
was
so
actually,
creative.
that's a great point. Is it what here's actually for
Oh,
that
no.
argument, I'm gonna bump you up 10 points. You're at an A now.
What?
Last minute swap.
Oh
I
my
forgot.
goodness.
I forgot to write that down, guys. Next time I'll
What?
take notes. Is I was thinking you had a disadvantage, and I really appreciated your stick-to-itiveness of like, I'm gonna make this work, and you didn't get bogged down in the details of it not making sense. And I appreciate that. And you also had a disadvantage of going first. I think I realized it really is a big advantage to have the slides in advance, even
my
if they still
God.
don't make sense, and you have to apply your own through line to it. I think
Yeah.
it really.
Yeah.
I think you should get some bonus points for having to go first.
That's true.
And so, thank
Thank you,
you.
chef.
Does that mean I'm a
You have
loser?
won You are the loser next week or in the next 2 weeks. Next time we record the presentation.
That was
I do think Yo
the
Yo
wildest
Yo Yo
twist.
was really iconic, and I'm gonna give you some bonus points for that too. But yeah, an A minus.
Maybe an A minus.
Sorry, but Leia gets the A plus. I really appreciated Yo 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 Yo. Next time, hey, tip for the person who hosts next. Taking notes on the things you liked, dislikes are good, because at the end you have to give a reason.
You have to give a reason.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I remembered yours because you just went. You win. I think that's a perfect reason.
But yeah, that's so next week Belle will be our professor, and we'll be presenting. Thank you for joining us. If you want to know what the presentation is, if you have any questions about the presentation I wrote, so the premise of this presentation that I made for you guys was, what are the Avatar main cast if they were types of clowns? Let me screenshot. Man. And post it to the Discord.
Man. While you do that, I'd like to dedicate this win to
What's her
my
name,
beautiful goth clown wife. Just for this win, I will be keeping her
That's
around for an extra
Very
year.
scary. I think we need to contact someone.
It's a good thing I don't actually have a wife or girlfriend.
At this
so
rate,
it's
you
not
might not.
It's not
yeah,
a
you
threat
might never.
on anyone real.
They're
yeah.
gonna hear you talking about how you murdered them.
Well, as long as she's not a goth
Honka,
clown,
honka.
it'll be fine.
That's our that's our sign off.
Honka honka.
Not yo yo yo.
Wait. Yeah.
No, we will do yo yo yo.
Honka honka. Also, yes, please post the honka honka of the clown character from
Sure.
Phoenix Wright to
Yeah,
the
once
Instagram.
again, thank you
I
for
will send that.
listening. And instead of our class, Amber, as the name of our group chat that we are on, you can really tell when we made that group chat. Really easily carbon dated.
Yeah.
But thank you all for joining us. Instead of our classic goodbye, good night, good night, good night, goodbye sign off, we are actually, instead of goodbye bitches, you're gonna get yo 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 yo.
I think
The
it's
ambulance.
over.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
honka
it's
honka.
over?
It's over, bitches.
All right, this is the question. Do we want to do
what
it's
it
over
is.
bitches or yo yo yo, or Bella does the siren, because that's
I'll
the
do
bit, is
that.
that Bella never stopped doing
While
the
we
siren.
go, it's over, bitch.
And we go, it's over bitches.
Yeah. It fades
Yeah.
back in and back out.
Is that good?
Yeah,
Thanks
sure.
for coming,
Yeah.
and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks. And see.
It's over bitches.
It's over, bitches.